is Luis Cárcamo Huechante. I'm a person of Mapuche, indigenous Mapuche background from South America originally, an indigenous guest in these lands. And I'm happy to offer today to you this land acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what now is called North America. Moreover, I would like to acknowledge the Alabama Coachata, Cado, Carrizo Comecrudo Coahuiltecan, Comanche, Kickapoo, Lipan Apache, Tonkawa, and Isleta del Sur Pueblo, and all the American Indians and indigenous peoples and communities who have been or have become a part of these lands and territories here in Texas. Thank you. Welcome.
And thank you so much, Luis, for those words. I'm Professor Megan Raby here at UT Austin. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you are here to take part in this beautiful Earth Day. Here in Austin, it's a beautiful day. I hope it is where you're at. Our purpose here is to explore historical perspectives on the climate crisis. And in fact, today is the 51st anniversary of the first Earth Day in 1970, an event that was originally envisioned as a national teach-in on the environment. And in choosing this day to begin our conference, my colleague Erica Basumik and I, we chose this day because we hope to tap into some of that original spirit of education and of action. And when Erica and I started talking about proposing this theme, it was not because our current research is in any obvious way directly related to climate change. Instead, we came to this topic first through our own teaching and through, I'd say, a kind of nagging sense that we needed to do something to confront the climate crisis, and how to do something in a way that we felt best equipped to do as environmental historians. For a long time, climate change seemed to be in the domain of the sciences, yet by now it has become abundantly clear, I think, that we can't address climate change with scientific facts all on their own. As historians, we have an important role to play, perhaps even a responsibility, to uncover the root causes of the climate crisis and to seek historical antecedents and analogs that can inform our collective responses.
Thank you, Megan. With what Megan said in mind, we have assembled 4 separate panels to better help us understand how to put the topic of climate change in historical context, while also locating various precedents that can help inform the research we as historians conduct and the choices we as citizens and scholars make in the future. As you listen to the panelists in the papers and participate in the discussions, we invite you as the audience to consider how your own research interests, your teaching, or life experiences frame how you think about climate change. When we began planning this event, we started with some key questions that became framing devices for the conference. How can historicizing and contextualizing climate as a concept help us? How can we, quote unquote, practice what we preach as academics, or quote unquote, go public with the research, with our own research in ways that productively contribute to a global society struggling with and reckoning with the immediate and long-term effects of climate change? You'll notice that we have panels on all of those questions, and we've invited experts across the academy and beyond to reflect on them. We especially want to thank all our participants and everyone in attendance for participating in this virtual conference. And if ever there was a theme that was conducive to a virtual conference, this is probably the topic. We'll be starting in a few minutes with a grad student panel, and we've given our graduate students a really difficult job. For the most part, none of the young scholars that you will hear in that panel write about climate change in their own work, but yet almost all of them deal with environmental issues. So we asked our students to consider how climate change intersects and informs their own work, either from the perspective of just contemporary citizens who are living in an era of climate change, or their scholarship. and they all luckily took up the challenge. So in a few minutes at 9:15, we will begin welcoming these young scholars, and we'll look forward to their presentations. So now would be a good time, as the conference is getting started, if you want to grab a cup of coffee, get set up for the next session. That panel will start right at 9:15.